What's up, everybody? And I don't know about y'all, but I am tired of this cold weather. I'm ready for warm weather, spring to come. I'm over it. Alright, I never really know how to start these videos. I don't know if I should just say hi to the 5 people that keep coming back and watching the videos, or if I should start it out with maybe burning a car down or something. That way people may just continue watching the video instead of just skip past it. No, I just don't know really how to ever start them. Walked in this morning and started the heat up. Feeling pretty good after my tonsils was removed. Getting my voice back a little bit better. And feeling a little bit better to start working again. So I'm going to start this one a little bit differently. Just going to go over what I have in store for the week, what the plans are, the direction of how the workflow is going to go, and that way you can kind of see up front on what the video is going to show. And if you've made it this far, it's probably only been like a minute. Stop, hit the like, go and subscribe. Then after you subscribe, hit the share it to your social media. I don't care if you put on there, look at this idiot, he don't know nothing. It don't bother me. Just make sure you share it and say something like that. I don't care. But tell them I say too much. Leave a comment talking about I don't know anything. I sound stupid. It don't matter. Just leave a comment, share it, like it, and subscribe, because that's what YouTube looks at on when they start showing people's videos to other people. So even if you don't like the content that I have right now, which I don't know how you found this channel or not, but most of it is going to be body work and some mechanic work, and then some work to my own vehicles to go racing, drag racing, no prep racing, stuff like that. The body work is what pays my bills. So that's what the majority of it's going to be, until y'all start sharing and subscribing, and new viewers are starting to subscribe more and more, and somehow I can start making money a different way than body work, and start catching cars on fire, wrecking them, and seeing if they run on pickle juice or anything like that. We gotta get past having some followers, some subscribers, before we can do shit like that. But anyway, I'm gonna turn the phone around so you don't have to look at my face anymore, and we'll go over what this week is going to have in store. I ended the last video and didn't show that I got the quarter panel bonded to the S550, and I don't think I showed that I cut the rest of the wheelhouse out of the 65. The wheelhouse, the new one, is supposed to fit up all the way to here, where, well, there's a lot of shit in the way to put every bit of it in. So it has a little bit of a roll right here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the flange off and fit that, double it up, fit it there, and then I'll have a place to spot weld it right through here, and that should work out pretty good. And then I'll spot weld this back on like it was, drill a couple holes, do that. And still have to cut more of the quarter out up here so the new one can fit up in there. But for right now, this is on hold, and I'm getting back on the S550. I've got it all bonded. I sat this up here just to weigh it down because it actually glued up through the top too, and it'll be spot welded. And then, which if you go back and look at my previous video, it'll show where all the attachment points and everything is. But the everything lines up real nice, so I'm going to start getting to welding it all in. And before I start doing that, I've got to get this hood over into the booth with the rest of the parts that I have to put some primer on. And actually, I may hold off on that and see if I can get this ready to be primered before I primer that stuff, so I can do it all at once, knock it all out. And then I got to get an order together, a paint order for the stuff that I'm going to be primering. I already have the paint for this. I ordered it. I got it last week, but I don't have the paint for the parts that I have to do. The Hyundai parts, the GT500 scoops. I'm going to show you this before I grind these welds down. I'm not sure if the weld through primer is what was causing it, but as soon as I start to weld, it would just splatter until it was burned through that stuff, and then it'd start to weld. I had a time in all the spot welds to actually get it to weld good. I've never really had that issue before, and it kind of sucked. It made a mess of everything. So they don't look good at all, but once I grind them down, it'll be all right. Out throughout here, everywhere that the weld through primer wasn't, it did real good. A couple places here, it went through the metal and hit the weld through primer and splattered, but down through here, welded all right. I mean, it shouldn't go anywhere. They're not the prettiest welds or anything like that, but they'll all get ground down and smoothed out anyway. But it's all welded up. These are some of the worst ones because it had a little bit of a gap also. I had to push the quarter in, not the quarter, but just the flange there in to actually weld. But it's welded out through there and everything. So I'll get to grinding all this down, and then spread some filler across here and start working that. It shouldn't need too much. It don't seem like it warped anywhere or anything like that, but where I clamped it over here, where the inside was pushed in just a little bit, it made a little bit of a dent there. I worked it a little bit, but I'm going to smooth it out with some filler too. It's not bad, but you can kind of see the little dent right there in the shadow. Not bad, but I'm going to fix that also. And yeah, get this ready to spray some primer on, so I can do it when I primer the parts needing primer too. Also, I know I had you on Also, I know I had you on time lapse through all this. Let me know down in the comments if you like the time lapse stuff of me actually doing it, or you rather just this, like before and then after I get done I talk about it and how it looks. Let me know down below in the comments. Either way, if you don't really care too much for the time lapse, then I'll stop doing them. But if you like that part of it, then I'll do more of it. All right, I didn't quite get primer on it, but it's all ready for primer. Everything blocked out real nice. Real satisfied with that. That'll work. I decided I'm going to prime the whole quarter, and I'm going to prime the outside of the door also. I don't normally, but where I'm going to have so many primer spots on this, and I got to coat I got to put down a white before I put down the orange. So I'm going to put down gray 2K primer. That way I ain't trying to cover up a bunch of black with white before I put down the orange. White cover over that gray a lot better. And I'll do the same with the outside of the door. My plan is, as of right now, when it gets ready to paint, I'm going to jam out the rocker and the door jamb and the jamb of the inner of the door. And then once that dries, I'm going to put the door on, tape up the jambs, and paint the outside all together, because I'm going to have to blend into the fender, because if I try and panel paint this thing, it's not going to match. So I'm going to blend into the fender. You know, it'll blend into the pillar here and the trunk lid and the side of the rear bumper also. So I'll put all that stuff back on. When I jam it out, I'm going to make sure that I paint down here orange, so when I put the bumper on it, I don't have to worry about trying to get behind the bumper. But yeah, it turned out real good. To be completely honest, this is the first time I've ever put a quarter panel in anything. As long as I've been doing this kind of stuff, I've never had a car that I did that had as much damage that needed a quarter replaced. So, especially on a newer vehicle, this old stuff like Fox bodies, I never had to replace a quarter on a Fox body either. But it all went out real smooth, did real good. I mean, I've known how to replace one, but I've just never actually done it. But good to go. After I prime it, I'm going to come through and put seam sealer everywhere that it needs, and then she'll be ready to sand and paint. Get this thing knocked out because they're stacking up outside. All right, so this morning I started off with a primer in these parts in the S550 quarter. Got the hood, got the fender primered, got the door for the S550, put a coat of primer on it. Got primer on the GT500 scoops. Nova's still got it taped up until I start work back on it. Got the S550 all taped up and primered. You can see thing looks really good. Heat's about to kick on and be real loud. Turned out real nice. I'll let that dry and then block it and prep it for paint. Now that that's primered, I'm gonna go outside. I have Volkswagen that needs repaired, but it's really dirty. So it's not, it don't feel too bad outside out in the sun, so I'm going to wash it. And that'll be the next thing when I get the S550 in the booth. I'll get the Volkswagen in here and start doing repair on it also. All right, here's the Volkswagen I'm going to be working on. You can see how nasty it is right now, but there's damage on this door and a little bit down at the bottom on the driver's door. But I'm going to spray it off real quick and get it all clean. That way I don't have to deal with any contaminants when I go to do the work. And also got a Ram 1500. It's gonna get a bedside and a rear bumper placed on it. And I also have a 2001 GT that I gotta repair some damage on the door and a quarter of it. So yeah, busy. Okay, I did some rearranging in here so I could fit another car. Moved the 65 over and the Cobra over. Got the Volkswagen in here after I cleaned it up. See what I'm dealing with now. Pretty good sized dent. Worst is right here. Get the trim off. Start pulling it out. It is scuffed right here. No dent or anything. I believe most of that will wipe off. But I may spray this bottom because it is through the color right there. So I don't know yet if I'll blend into this door up here or just keep the color down here and then paint just the door. I'm not sure. It's black, but there's a lot of flake to it. I'm not sure. I think it may be all right if I don't have to blend that. But I'll make my mind up once I get it fixed. All right, this morning I sanded the Hyundai parts, cleaned up the booth, got the knob out of here, prepped the parts. Now I'm about to spray the underside of the hood, the color it's supposed to go. Then I'm going to take lunch, and when I come back it should be dry enough. I'll flip it over and then put the color on the outside of everything. But you can see where I put the primer on the little spots, sanded them. Same with the top side of the hood, already got everything good. And then I'll wet the floor down and all. My paint just came, so I'm going to get to painting. If you're wondering what I'm using, I started using a different paint supplier, and I'm using Automotive Art Moto Base for the base coat. I seem to get good coverage out of it so far. I just started using it. I'm pretty happy with it. As far as matching on the colors is a lot better than what I had been using, so can't complain there. Getting ready to pour this color out, and I figured I'd share with you. I learned this about 7-8 years ago from a painter. You rip your 2 pieces of 1.5-inch tape, fold over the corners, and now you won't fill up the groove of the paint can with paint. So when you put your lid back on to reseal it, it won't splatter everywhere. And it's real easy to control the amount of paint you're putting in your cup also. Figured I'd share that with you. Also, this Automotive Art mixes 1-to-1. The stuff that I had been using mixed 2-to-1, and this seems to cover a whole lot better. Sprayed the scoops for the GT500 Apologize if you couldn't hear me, but the Hyundai parts, I got them painted, the bumpers over in the other garage.
I hope he takes that and enjoys it and isn't mad about it, but I feel like he gets mad at stuff. He got mad because I called him a brilliant weirdo.
I didn't video before I took it out of the booth, but there's the mirror for the S550 and the door handle piece. Got it painted, ready to go, ready to be picked up. And the bumpers over there, I don't see any reason showing you it, but I'm working some filler on the Atlas, putting a little bit more filler than what I would like in it, just because as I was pulling the dents out, it was in so far. When I would get it close to being where it needed to be, it started acting like a tin can and wanted to pop in and out, and it was too far out or too far in, too far out, too far in. So I kind of got it in a middle ground of in, and started working the filler now. But I'm going to start blocking it some more while that paint's drying on the GT500 scoops. I'm going to get primer on this thing today and hopefully paint it tomorrow. Okay, I've got the Volkswagen in here ready to be primered, taped up. I'm going to primer it, and the bottom piece here is damaged, goes down at the bottom. I went to take the door handles out, like, because I like having them out when I do the paint them, because I'm going to be painting both doors, blending into this door, the bottom half of it. But I took the door handle out, and I didn't like how the wire was, and the inside of the you take the door panel off the inside trying to get to everything. I didn't really like how I was going to have to tape it up, so I put it back on, and it's going to be easier that way to me anyway, so I left it like that. And then I'm probably not going to be able to, but I was going to see if I could get this Mustang ready for primer and primer at the same time, but it's pretty late in the day and I'm just now starting on it, and it's going to take a good bit of work to straighten this all out, so I don't think I'm going to have time to get it ready for primer. But I'm also going to have to mess with this rubber at the top. It's hitting the door glass. And then I got to take the wing off. He told me it was a Cobra R wing he got, but it's a 0304 Cobra Terminator style, and it's feels like polyurethane. I've never seen one, never messed with one like this, so it's made kind of bad, and I'm not going to be able to really do much with that. I could put filler on it, but it being polyurethane, it probably won't last, so it's probably going to stay wavy, so I don't like that, but it is what it is, like Turbo John says. But yeah, I'm going to primer the Volkswagen in there and start pulling dents on this Mustang. Right now the S550 is on the back burner. I've started prepping the jams, because I'm going to spray the jams first and then mount everything and then paint everything on it together. That'll probably be sometime next week. I'm trying to knock out these smaller jobs in between, and then once I get these small jobs done and and the S550 done, then I'll start back on the 65, the Fox Coupe, and the Nova. A lot to do though, and I also have the Dodge outside that's got the bedside that needs replaced in it, so I got to fit it in at some point too. All right, as you can see, I've been working this door and quarter. I got the dent out of the quarter pretty good. I did straighten out this kink. Once I got the dent out, it wanted to kink real bad here. Every time I go to straighten it out, it wants to pull this body line in some. So I left the kink in it because it fits real well to the side scoop. So you won't see that kink behind it, even though it bothers me. I've got the crease out of the quarter panel down here. This is still in some. I'll show you what I'm fighting. I've pulled around the door handle quite a bit, but this is what I'm fighting here. It's always hard to pull the creases on your body lines of your panels, because that's where they're the stiffest. So I'm going to have to do something here to try and get that where the door handle comes out straight. That way I don't have to use any filler, or it don't have any waves in it. I could feel some creases, some dents in the two corners, and I'm hoping when I pull that out, it'll relieve that. And once I get this completely out, this body line will be a whole lot straighter. But that's what I'm working with now. I've pretty much got the top bulge and the dents in the two corners up here out. But I'm going to work this area some more and try and get that body line around the door handle to come out where it needs to be. Okay, got it all straightened out. About ready to put some filler on it. As you can see, this door has been painted before, and the quarter has been painted before. Possibly the whole car may have been painted. But everything looks like it's pretty straight. You can see down through there, pretty straight now. Now I'll start spraying some filler and get it ready for a primer. All right, I spread some filler and got it pretty close. I'm still a little bit low here, and this is a little bit high. You see all the specks at me tapping it with the hammer, trying to shrink this spot down and get it a little bit more flat because it was too high. Everything else blocked out real good. Up through here seems to be all right. Little bit right here is going to need fixed, and I'm going to have to smooth this and right here up a little bit. Spread some right through here too, even though it gets covered up mostly. The side scoop, it fits real good. Nice and straight up there. So I was going to keep working on it and get it in primer, but I didn't see any sense in primer in it when I have to still fill these holes, and I don't have any fiberglass resin or mat here, and these trunks are fiberglass, so I can't weld these holes up. Gotta fill them with fiberglass, so I gotta go get some of that, and I'll work that before I primer the side. I also primered the Volkswagen Atlas again, blocked it with 350. 320, and primed it again because I had so much filler on it. I wanted to make sure it was straight. And this is about how the wing's going to fit. I've never messed with one of these. It's like made out of polyurethane plastic. It covers up this rear hole, but I'm going to fill it anyway, just to make sure that this thing only sticks on with double-sided tape. So if it has a spot where water starts getting behind the double-sided tape, it won't run into his trunk because of a hole there. But I figured out why his glass was hitting up here in the rubber, which I straightened up the rubber where it had been folded, and I I guess you could say the molding that holds the rubber, a hard part. I think it's actually metal. It was folded down. The reason that the glass was hitting it was because it's actually come unglued from the bracket that holds it to the mechanism that moves it up and down. I'll insert a picture right here. And I'll re-glue that for him. That way it won't hit that top piece. And yeah, I'm gonna call it a night tonight and go inside and eat. And all right, I'm gonna end the video here. I'm going. Had to pull in the Nova. We're supposed to get some rain and maybe some snow tonight and then to tomorrow. So I didn't want it raining and snowing all over the Nova. So I whittled its way in here. I still haven't put any filler on the Mustang. I've been working in here in the booth. I sanded the primer down and sanded the doors on the Volkswagen. Got them ready to paint. Sanded all the door here with 800, and then around the primer where it's going to be mostly clear, where I'll be doing the blend, is 800. Primer is all 400 and 600. I got my piece here, and then I pressure washed the booth out real good. Washed the car real good. Now it's in here, going to be drying, and I'll probably tape it up tomorrow. But like I said, I'm going to end the video here. Make sure you subscribe. That way you can see what it looks like in the next video and see the progress of everything else going on in the shop. And I appreciate y'all watching, and see you next time.